There's a lot of mosquitoes in here. There's a lot of mosquitoes in here. Is this sentence right or wrong? What do you think? Is it right or wrong? Well, I'm going to tell you. But first, you have to subscribe to my channel right down there and click on the bell if you want to get notified of my future videos. Okay, so a lot of people are confused about these words, theirs and their. Do you know what these words mean? Well, these words are contractions. Okay, what's a contraction? A contraction is when two words become one word. Okay, so look at this. There is becomes theirs. Okay, that's called a contraction. It doesn't need to, but sometimes when we talk fast, or when we write, it's easier to make these two words into one word. It's just easier. You don't need to do it, but it's more natural if you do that. If you always say there is or there are, people might think you're not a native English speaker. So if you want to be more fluent, it's a great idea to use contractions in your speech. And if you're texting your friends, it's a good idea to use contractions, not for university writing. If you're writing a paper for university, it's better not to use contractions. Then you should say this: there is or there are. Okay, so now look at this sentence. There a lot of mosquitoes in here. There is or are. Which word should go in there? What do you think? There is a lot of mosquitoes or there are a lot of mosquitoes? Well, the right answer is there are, because it's plural. It's plural. Plural means more than one, right? If there was just one mosquito, then we would say there is a mosquito in here. There is one mosquito. There's a mosquito in here. But if there's more than one mosquito, then we have to say there are a few mosquitoes, maybe 2 or 3. There are a few, or there are a lot of mosquitoes, maybe 10 mosquitoes in here. Actually, there are no mosquitoes here. I just made it up. In Canada, in the winter, there are no mosquitoes. Okay, only in the summer there are mosquitoes here in Canada. So there are no mosquitoes here in my room. Okay, so the right answer is there because it's plural. Okay, so if we were to contract there are, then it should be there, right? There are a lot of mosquitoes in here. There. Okay, take a look at this word. It's awkward. It's a very hard word to say. There, because we have two R's next to each other. There. Try to say that. Isn't it a bit awkward? It's awkward for me. Okay, so that's why native English speakers don't like this. I don't like this. I don't say this. So that's why we say theirs. We say theirs. Even though it's a mistake, we say it because it's more natural, even when we're talking about more than one thing. Okay, so take a look at this example here. There's only 3 donuts in this box. There's only 3. Only 3? I have 212,000 subscribers. I wish I had more donuts so I could give each of my subscribers a donut. But there's only 3. Okay, is this right or wrong? Should it be theirs or their? Theirs or their? Well, it should be there are, right? Because it's more than one. But, it's more natural to say theirs. If I was saying this, I would say theirs. So you hear me say this all the time, and you will hear other native English speakers say this all the time because it's more natural. It feels better to say theirs than their. Okay, so even though I know it's a mistake, it's easier for me than to say there are only 3 donuts in this box. Okay, so that's a mistake that I make. I know I make it, but it's easier. It's more natural. You know, a lot of people choose the easier path rather than the correct grammar, right? Like, take a look at this. I love you. Is that right or wrong? Look at that you. That's not a word in English, right? That should be Y-O-U, not the letter U. But people do this because it's easier. It's easier to type one letter than three letters, right? So a lot of people, especially younger people, they text like this, I love you, even though it's wrong. It's wrong, but it's easier. Okay, so I want to ask you, do you think it's okay to knowingly make grammar mistakes? Is it okay to knowingly? Like when I say theirs, I know it's wrong. But I still do it, right? So do you think it's okay to knowingly make grammar mistakes? So anyway, that's what theirs. A lot of people are confused about the word theirs. Well, now you know why native English speakers say theirs. It's just because it's easier, it sounds more natural, it's easier to pronounce. Okay, so let me know your answer to this question down there in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.